Hey folks, my name's NovaWing24 and welcome to the last interview for Flight Sim Expo 2024 at, I think, the best interview location I think I have ever done an interview in. And of course, I am here with the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, Edson from Parallel 42. Welcome, Edson. It is great to see you here again. And I promise, folks, as much as I can pre-seeing this recorded, the audio is going to be better this year.
Yeah, for the accounting people, can we please say this is our remote office?
Absolutely, yes. This is 100% our remote office. Hey, FSE leadership, just so you know, this is what we all expect our remote offices to be in the future.
Yes, it's been the best.
It has. So, Edson, you know what? Let's start with the easy one. What did you think of this year?
Absolutely loved it. The energy was very high at this show. Look, I'm gonna be biased to Las Vegas. I love expos in Las Vegas. I've been coming to, Viva Las Vegas for many years in the past, and I love the energy that Vegas naturally brings. So it could be some element of that, but the energy was very high at this show, and I loved it. There's a lot of people interacting. I think Las Vegas can even make an introvert an extrovert, right?
I'm not going to disagree with you on that. Yeah.
There's just something about it. Regardless, I'm looking forward to next year, but this year was fantastic. I saw a definite increase in production level, and we're big on details and spotting little details, and the production level increased greatly, and we absolutely appreciate that too. So yeah, excellent show, lots of people, a full floor.
And that's something that has come up, in many interviews and the round table that Belgian and myself have already done, is that there was just so much of the production quality and how full the floor really was there.
There's a finesse to it, right? Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, and seeing the floor full of not just people coming to visit. I'm pretty sure they've got the highest numbers that they've ever had once again, but also the number of companies and actually showcasing their wares. But not just that, the quality, and as you said, alluding to what you said, the production quality, every developer seems to be bringing their A game this year to be like, hey, you know what, we're going to go for broke. We're going to go in, we're going to go all in Las Vegas kind of thing.
I like that thought, yeah. I mean, we didn't do a booth this year, multiple reasons for that. Really, we felt a bit disconnected from the community and really primarily biz dev or business development. Being pinned down at a booth for us was difficult because we're a very small team. I think there's a perception that we're a very large team, that's due to great branding and whatnot, but we actually are a very small team, and last year we were heavily pinned down to a booth. Even though we had some help, we found it hard to exit that space and go and mingle with our fellow peers, fellow developers and the community. So this year we opted not to do that, and we couldn't have made a better decision, to be honest. It's been an incredibly productive show for us with regards to business development, and really that's what drives us forward, right? Community engagement, that happens naturally, right, as we walk around, but the ability to chat with our partners and visit their booths and see what they have, that's been pretty damn cool.
And that's something that, one of the things that I reflect on, that, I find that it's definitely changed for me as all these years, starting all the way back in 2016, to now, is that I have far less time to actually see what's on the floor than I used to. I'm here, I'm active, the entire 3 days, but it's I sat back down last night and was going through my notes and my recordings, and I'm like, I didn't get to see this booth, I didn't get to see that, because my community keeps telling me about I need to fly in VR, and I didn't even get a chance to fly any of the VR headsets while I was
It was my first time to get to try that, and it felt so cool to actually go to a booth, sit down and use the stuff that I've been wanting to experience. I even did, Sergio's gonna love this, I even sat in a full helicopter thing with full motion and actual controls and a VR headset, and it changed the perspective for me.
Yeah.
I found an increased interest in the technicality of flying a helicopter, not with my gamepad, because that's how I like to fly choppers in Sim, but with a lot of complexity.
Yeah.
I found an increased interest. That really only could have happened had I, had the time to sit at a booth and do it. And I did, and I loved it.
And that's one of the things that I think is underestimated about events like this, is how it's not just about meeting the people, meeting the community. It's about being able to try the hardware and try something that you're not used to.
Yeah.
I'm not used to using a cycling. What is it like? Oh my God, it changes your experience so much. So
it does.
Yeah, I think it's great to hear.
Well, we're simmers first, right? Both Kevin and I and the rest of the team, like, we actively sim. I'm still a content creator, as you know, right? So I sim every day for pleasure, not necessarily for work.
How do you get the time?
Well, there's not enough time in the day. There's not enough time in the day for all that there is to do. But at least I get to say that my work can feel like play.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm really lucky to be in that position that, like, work can blend a little bit with play. I mean, in my live streams, oftentimes they're actually just test sessions, and you never know what you're gonna spot. And I may not talk about it, but there may be something new on the screen, right? But I'm lucky to be in that position, and therefore I can appreciate being at a show, because I can put on the consumer hat very easily, because I still sim. A lot of development houses may not have the liberty of being in that mindset, right? That maybe they've grown to a scale to where, like, there's no time for actual simming. We're just business, right?
Just business,
I'm happy we're not there. I hope we're never there. I want it always to be pleasurable.
And this is great philosophy that Parallel 42 obviously bring to all their products. So let's turn to some of the products. Obviously, so we had the announce/release of, I think it's your first immersion pack.
Our first immersion pack is out. A320 immersion. It's an extension to our very popular SimFX product, which released just about a month ago now. But A320 immersion just made sense to be the first. Not only are there 42 different variants of the A320, but it has quickly climbed the ranks to become one of the most, if not the most, popular airframes in sim to fly. And so it made sense. It not only supports one of those, like our old packages, right? Our old packages, you may remember, it was for the PMD G737. It was for the whatchamacallit. This supports everything from the Phoenix to the Latin VFR, right? To the Asobo default, the whole gamut.
So I was going to say, because that was one of the things that I noted during your release announcement, and that's what I thought. Well, I wanted to ask you about, was, stepping away, because I had the old Learjet immersion pack, absolutely loved it to death. I want my party lights back, but it's that only worked with one specific Learjet model. Even though there were other models of that in my hangar, it only worked with that particular brand's Learjet. So was that a conscious choice for you to be able to say, you're not going to support just the base A320, you're not going to support just the Phoenix one? Was that a conscious choice?
It was. And I mean, there are some variants of the A320 that, maybe we don't vibe with kind of their quality level, and so we opted not to support some. But, we tend to try to work with the best, right? Because we want our product to be represented as best as it can be. So it absolutely was. Also, by choice was kind of this concept of making the immersion packs an extension of SimFX, right? So many people get the benefit of SimFX adding effects to their entire hangar, right? And so it just made sense to drop the price of these immersion packs from what they once were, right? You may remember, right? $30, $35 per specific airframe to $15, and they're just extensions of SimFX now. So you have the core engine running in SimFX, and then the immersion packs come on top of that and just add really high quality, high depth and detail effects to specific airframes.
And that again is, I think, is a great example of a business community mindset of going, because you absolutely could have released that for $35.
Absolutely could have released,
and I have no doubt that
per airframe, independently.
But you've chosen to do what's right for the community, and I think that's why I love Parallel 42. I mean, I make no qualms about this. I love the work that you do. I've seen how you've grown as a company. Anybody who tunes into my streams on Saturdays, that invariably we are always flying with SkyPark, from Parallel 42. Which of course that leads me to the other announcement that blindsided everybody, especially me, because I literally interviewed these guys on Saturday, and as we finished the interview, they whispered to me and said, "Hey, you might want to come and talk to us tomorrow." And I'm like, "Why?" They're like, "Come and find us tomorrow." So Invernyx is Parallel 42, is SkyPark is no longer Parallel 42?
Correct. SkyPark is now an Invernyx family product, and we couldn't be happier, to be quite honest. You had the breaking kind of like interview last Expo about the future of the SkyPark, right? And I think that interview really started a conversation about its future. But the conversation kind of went beyond just our internal chats. It began with external sources, and we now know Invernyx. And it just made a lot of sense to put the SkyPark into the hands of, a company with much more available resource to take it further. You read our dispatch emails, and you probably saw kind of in December, we also, back-tabled a lot of our product lines for that simple reason as well, right? Like some products went to another developer because we felt they could pull it forward faster. And to us, it really is a community-driven thing, right? Like if we cannot manage the pace of development required right now, then let's work with somebody who can, right? And let's make sure that the vision aligns. And Invernyx were absolutely the right partner to do this. We're still very much a part of the vision of the product. They insisted on keeping us on board to like lead the vision, right? No additional work, no airline management, no spreadsheet interface.
Thank God for that.
Right? You can still fly anything you want. They'll never limit you on airframes, right? So like it really is a discovery engine and adventure. And they aligned 100%. They're going to take it to where it needed to go at the pace it needed to go.
And that's the thing, is like I love the team at Invernyx, they're great, the work they've done on the MD-11 and PackX over the years, it's always been great, but when I first heard it, and I went straight to them and I went, okay, so is this going to be PackX 2.0? And it's like, no, it's not.
Right.
It's still, and
they're maintaining the SkyPark, right? It's still the SkyPark. The entire soul of the project literally just carries on. And it's nice to feel that, nice to see that, right? Because historically, if you really want to turn back the clock, the SkyPark was our first product in Microsoft Flight Simulator,
and it's still maintained.
And it's still maintained. We support is virtually non-existent for it. It keeps running, and it was our first product in Microsoft Flight Sim, so it's something we cared about very, very deeply, and we still do. And so to know that we're still part of that vision is awesome.
So, and that's, as I said, reassuring to know that, you're still on board, it's still the vision, and you've had that agreement that it is a visionary product.
It was on paper, man.
It's on paper.
It was on paper.
Sealed, delivered.
Signed, sealed, delivered.
Nice. So I guess that sort of things, we've seen so much come from Parallel 42 lately. We've seen Fixed Scroll, which...
A beautifully controversial one, right?
Beautifully controversial. I saw the name for that, and I was like, I know exactly who's came up with that name, and I literally just sat there and just applauded it. I really did. Oh, I'm sorry, Nacho. Did I disturb you? Nacho's the true star of the company, by the way. This is the true CEO, is Nacho. Seeing your commitment to the community through that, and of course, I've loved seeing all the micro sceneries that we've been coming up here. I really feel that there's. And I remember we talked about this last year. Like we talked about your vision that it's the Microsoft Flight Simulator world. There's more to it than just flying. And with things like Camp Out and the sceneries there now. I did a thing on our community where we actually sort of set up a pre-flew the flight plan, and I placed little smoke canisters at where we were going to land. So there would be a tent and some drinks and a barbecue at every stop we'd have and stuff like that. So I love being able to tell those stories here. So my question to you now is, you've got these so many storytelling tools now. We've got drug lords, hideouts,
ramen distributors.
Sorry, ramen. Sorry, do apologize. Ramen distributors. Ramen distributors villas. We've got barbecue hangouts. We've got stall challenge hangouts. What's next? What is next?
beef distributors. We've got a wonderful ranch coming up. It's in a new area. We've already well established our playground in Red Bluff, right? California. You got Northern California covered. I've always liked to look at our sceneries like a playground concept.
Yep.
You've got the swing set here, you've got the slide over there, etc., etc. All together, it's a playground for bush planes. We've done that. We've kind of closed the door on Red Bluff, and it's time to move somewhere else. We put a pin in West Virginia. That's a little bit on hold right now, but we're moving into Wyoming. Another untapped, beautiful area.
Okay.
Right? We could take the safe route and go do Idaho or something like that, but that's just not our style, right? We're gonna put a pin in somewhere fresh. The area is incredible, and it's got a lot of great bush flying, and it's a ranch. I'm not gonna reveal its name now, but there's some really, really neat elements around this ranch to explore, and it's gonna be the first pin in the new playground area.
I am looking forward to it. All right, well, look, thank you very much. As I said, folks, this is the last interview here from Flight Sim Expo in, I think, the most appropriate setting for chilling with Parallel 42.
Poolside.
Poolside absolutely is a great thing. So, Edson, look, your vision, your support for the flight simulation community is, second to none.
Thank you, brother.
I want to say, thank you once again for joining me here on another interview. Hopefully without the audio issues this year.
Yeah.
Folks, don't forget to check out Edson and the team when they are streaming over on Twitch. Links will be in the description.
And thank you to everybody that has a fresh, open mind and thinks beyond just the skies.
Because you have to be parallel.
Yeah.
Yeah. But seriously, like on that point, folks, like Parallel 42's products have really encouraged so many of us in the community to reimagine how we flight sim, but also watching how many other developers have reimagined.
Just look at the 2024 trailer. We've been validated.
Missions, helicopters, you got everything. All right, folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, be amazing humans, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.